Welcome to the Euro 2020 betting show from the Action Network.
Welcome back to the Action Network's Euro 2020 soccer betting preview show. I'm Michael Leboff, the soccer editor here at Action Network, and joining me today on a beautiful, beautiful day, Anthony DeBundo of the big city, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and BJ Cunningham of beautiful Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Guys, we're in the knockout stages, so we got to get serious. Let's just jump right in. The first match is a 12 p.m. kickoff Eastern time between Wales, Denmark, two of the Cinderella stories in the group stage. Denmark are coming at us as an odds-on favorite at the Open. Wales around 4.5 to 1. The tie sitting above plus 220. I mean, it's hard not to fall in love with both of these teams, but this is betting, so you got to make the tough choices, right, Anthony?
Yeah, the underlying numbers don't really flatter Wales nearly as much when you kind of look at how they performed in their three group games. Yes, they stole a point against Switzerland. They got a late header from Kiefer Moore to get that point, but it was pretty undeserved. They lost the expected goals battle by more than a full goal. Switzerland was wasteful in front of net. They get a great result against Turkey, but looking back, everybody beat up on Turkey in that group. So how impressive is it really? And then they lose to Italy and pretty much have nothing going against Italy's B team with the group on the line. So for Wales, it's really a matter of, can they get on the ball enough to get Bale and Ramsey to, do their creative magic? And the answer against this Denmark team is probably no. Denmark was one of the most impressive teams in the entire group stage, especially after what happened in their first game, having to go through the emotional trauma of that. They've overcome that. And so now, fourth best expected goal difference. Only Spain, Italy, and the Netherlands were better. They easily could have won the group. They should have won that game against Belgium. If you look at all the underlying numbers, they have the third most passes into the penalty area, fifth most crosses. They're a really dominant side. Their midfield, powered by Pierre-Emile Højbjerg and Thomas Delaney, dominated all three teams they played. And Højbjerg kind of stepped up into that Eriksen role, 0.24 XA per 90 expected assists, and 28 progressive passes and 8 into the penalty area. He was excellent, much more than he does for Tottenham. He was able to step up and be that ball progressive that they needed to create those chances. So for me, I love Denmark minus 125. I'm riding the future. I know Michael and I both have one. We're on the Danes, and the path is open for them to make a run here.
Yeah, Denmark's down to 20 to 1 at most shops right now. But I do think that you could get maybe a little creative with them if you do want to maybe be along for the ride with the Danes by rolling their to advance money lines, because they'll probably play most likely I think the Netherlands in the next round. They'll be underdogs, and then you keep rolling it over and you could get better than 20 to 1. So if that's how you want to play it, I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Great story. Obviously, Wales also a great story, which is kind of funny because you got like two really romantic teams going at it. But like I said, betting does require kind of a cold heart. And BJ, what is your cold Iowa heart tell you in this one?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with Denmark in this match. I do think they're a tad overvalued. I do have some projected value on Wales just because they have the best strength of schedule of anybody in this tournament. But from a tactical perspective, I totally agree with Anthony, because I have a hard time seeing a path to victory here for them, because they're probably going to end up playing very defensive and sitting back like they did against Switzerland and Italy, and basically just get caught in their own final third and then hope that they can get a set piece goal or a counterattack from Bale, James, or Ramsey. So for me, it's a stay away. If Denmark gets steamed and I can get Wales at plus half a goal at plus 110 or better, my cold heart will probably take that. But other than that, it's just a stay away from me.
Oh man. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, right? Like, people will kind of fall in love with this Denmark team, and that number could be on the rise. All right, let's move it on. 3 p.m. kickoff Saturday. Italy, they're the biggest favorite at the moment of any team in this round of 16. They're sitting around minus 200 in their round of 16 match with Austria, who are coming back around 6.5 to 1. The tie is at 3 to 1. And we should remind you, right, when you are betting these three-way money lines, it's at 90 minutes. So if the game goes to extra time, the draw wins. The over-under is kaput. So let's, both of these teams actually had decent underlying numbers. Italy, obviously, much better, right? 6.89 expected goals for, only 1.4 against in their group stage. But like, Anthony was saying, the group wasn't all that great because Turkey really underwhelmed. Austria with 5.02 expected goals for and 4.64 against. So they were also on the positive side of the ledger. I think the Austrians are worth a little sprinkle here at 6.5 to 1 at least. I wouldn't go too much further below that, but they do have some good pieces. Italy looks so good. I think that price is just going to keep going up. Everyone saw what they did in the group stage, so naturally things are going to be inflated with a team like that. Instead of going to the guy draped in the Italian flag on the show, I'm going to go to BJ to kick this one off.
Yeah, jumping in front of the Italy train right now just kind of feels like a death sentence, but I think they're overvalued here, and I think that number is just going to continue going up. And I mean, look, it's hard to find a lot of negatives with Italy right now. They were so good during the group stage. They didn't allow a goal. They actually haven't allowed a goal in over 1,000 minutes in international play under Mancini. They basically were able to control the midfield against their three opponents, but this is going to be the best midfield that they've faced so far in this tournament, because like we've been harping on, game after game with Austria, this midfield combination of Sabitzer, Leimer, and Schläger is really, really good. And they were really good in their three group stage matches. Even though they lost to the Dutch 2-0, they still controlled 50% possession. They still completed more passes than the Dutch, and they just couldn't do anything in the final third. And Austria is a really successful pressing team. They had the second best pressure rate at 38% of anybody in the round of 16. And Italy's three opponents were all below 28% in that same metric. So Italy's going to have to face a lot more pressure in this match. And I honestly think Austria is going to give them some problems if they can figure out something in the final third. So I think that Italy is really overvalued here. This will also be their first match away outside of Rome. So I kind of like the Austrians. So I'm going to take their spread of +1 at anything -120 or better.
It's a brave bet. And it would be even braver if Anthony goes against his beloved Italians, maybe gets disowned by his family. But, he is just like BJ and myself. He does have a cold betting heart. So I wouldn't be surprised for him to say that he's not too interested in Italy at this price.
Yeah, for me, it's a pass. I lean towards the under 2.5 goals right now, but for me, I'm passing. I am wearing my Italian flag. I am very Italian. I've received a lot of flack for my pick of Turkey +1, which went up in flames early in the second half. I have not gone against Italy since, and for the reason is that I wanted Italy to prove to me that they had the pieces to put together a consistent attack and get enough shots. And I watched the Switzerland game, and they completely smothered what I think is a pretty good Switzerland team. Nothing from that Swiss midfield. And it's not a bad Swiss midfield if you look at the players. I mean, Xhaka, Freuler, Zakaria, they're decent players for Switzerland, and they totally smushed them. And you're not getting the pressing that you're going to get. I think BJ is right in that Austria can absolutely cause problems. But the problem is, I mean, you're trying to press a midfield of Jorginho, potentially Verratti and Barella. The second they break through, they're going to have runners going at this pretty questionable Austrian back line. And I have a lot like the Dutch did. And I have a lot of question marks about this Austrian back line, who wasn't really challenged by Ukraine or North Macedonia. But when they were challenged by the Dutch, they really struggled, gave away what could have easily been a couple of penalties and multiple big chances that Depay and company missed. That game easily could have been 3 or 4 for the Dutch. So for me, it's a pass. It's a stay away. I just don't trust Austria's back line enough to get behind this, which I think could be another big win for Italy.
Well, there you have it. The first 2 matches of the round of 16 wrapped up by 2 of the brightest betting minds in soccer, Anthony and BJ, and then me. So be sure to tune in tomorrow as we continue to break down the round of 16. And as always, follow our picks on the Action Network app.
For all the updated information on the Euros, go to theactionnetwork.com and download the Action Network app and enjoy the games.